The first thing we have to admit is that America is the land of immigrants. Everyone is an immigrant here, even the Native Americans. And if you say, but Mr. Horn, they were here before everyone else, I'd say, oh, really? Tell that to the megafauna and the mega herbivore. I try and think of any other country that has had as many waves in the shortest amount of time as America. I don't think there has been. But the other thing to admit is that America is the country that hates immigrants. So we've hated immigrants from the very beginning. The first immigrants we hated were the French. We wrote the Alien and Sedition Acts against them. But those Frenchies were trying to get us involved in a land war in Asia, in Europe, trying to get us involved with the French and English wars. So we hated them. We hated the Irish and the Germans and the Chinese and the Italians and the Russians and the Eastern Europeans and the Jews and everyone. We hate everyone. I think much of it is we just fear that they're going to take our jobs. I think that's behind it. But we also sometimes fear that they won't assimilate, and of course they always do. So let me give you some wise, sound counsel about what we should do about the immigrants today. That was a joke, of course. Nothing's going to happen in this next year. This is an election year we're coming up to, and you can just forget it. If Donald Trump said to Nancy Pelosi, look, I'll give you anything you want, 95% of an immigration bill, you can craft it. Just give me a little wall, and you and I with a shovel, and that's all I wanted is a photo opportunity. And Nancy Pelosi would reject that, of course, because the big thing now is to beat the Democrats over the head and to beat the Republicans over the head. And the stick that people seem to be using is immigration. So there's not much to say about it. Here's my thought. Of course, we have a country called the United States of America, and we have borders. And there are people who are citizens. Nothing that we have done. We just were lucky to get that lottery. And there are people who are not citizens, again, not because they're evil or bad, just because they didn't become citizens. We should be taking people into America. At what rate? I don't know. What kind of people? I don't know. This is all something that has to be resolved, and it won't be resolved this year until after November of next year or so. It's a sad thought. The last thought, and this will probably irritate some people, but if you're a Republican, I would think that you would want Honduras refugees coming to America. You do know that half of Hondurans are evangelical or Pentecostal. I would think that they would make great Republicans. Just my thoughts. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about immigration.